Hey guys, welcome back to the biggest agricultural platform in Namibia known as Men of Cattle, Induna Wengombe. So today, on the 29th of May, winter has finally arrived in Namibia. It's starting to get cold. As you can see, we're wearing hoodies and stuff. I'd love to talk about biosecurity protocols to combat livestock diseases for communal areas. I think we have to really talk about these things, particularly in the communal areas. So without wasting any time, let me get into this video with my trusted notebook here. Let's get into biosecurity protocol for farmers, particularly those in the communal areas. Communal farmers need to work together to devise biosecurity protocols and make sure they apply to everyone. This is the only way to keep the communal herd free of diseases. FMD, foot and mouth disease, and other economical destructive livestock diseases have created major problems for farmers recently, even threatening their livelihoods. It's more important than ever that farmers set up biosecurity protocols to help prevent the spread of livestock diseases. Instituting protocols or rules on a commercial farm is relatively simple. In communal areas where there are many farmers, it's more often difficult. Working as a team is crucial. Put another way, an entire community needs to work together to enforce these rules. If even a single farmer ignores protocols, a disease can spread rapidly. By working together, the community can help control diseases of every type, from foot and mouth to sheep and goat scabs. Before setting up biosecurity protocols, it is important to get the basics right before implementing biosecurity protocols for the community. Farmers Association makes certain that your community has a functional and informed farmers association. This association should stay in regular contact with your local Department of Agriculture, common organizations, and state vet, who can inform you about new diseases outbreaks. Send a delegation to meet with these organizations and people regularly. Community meetings. Arrange regular community meetings to discuss actions, strategies for disease outbreaks. Keep community members informed at all times. Training. Elect and train people in the community to recognize the disease symptoms and what treatment to use. Also make sure they know who needs to be contacted in the event of a suspected outbreak. For this job, choose people who are always present. Combine resources. Pool resources to pay the community members who will enforce biosecurity measures and equip them with the right medication. Biosecurity protocols. Once the general planning has been completed and accepted by the entire community, implement the following protocols. Don't buy livestock from regions where there are active disease outbreaks unless such livestock have been cleared by a registered vet in terms of government laws or protocols. Ensure that you have all needed documentations before livestock is offloaded. Record details such as where and from whom the livestock was bought, veterinary documentation, and the animal's health status. Your Farmers Association secretary should keep these records in a file. Traceability is important during these times of disease outbreaks. Building a quarantine zone in your community where newly bought livestock can be inspected for any symptoms of disease. Such as facilities should have adequate drinking water, shelter, and feed to sustain newly introduced livestock. Can be asked to pay a small fee for the maintenance of the quarantine facility. Disinfect these facilities regularly with products registered for such use. Ensure that the disinfectant doesn't contaminate feed and water areas. Get advice on how the disinfectant can be used safely. Train people on how to use it safely and how to disinfect themselves before and after handling livestock. Disinfect all people and cars entering the quarantine zone. So those are the biosecurity biosecurity protocols communal areas can use, creating a farmers association, which I believe is good. And then this farmers association get all the farmers to work together as to be able to say, let's avoid buying animals from this side. People that bought animals from here, let's build a big quarantine holding facility to keep these animals there so we can prevent disease outbreaks. Because I always tell people, particularly in the communal areas, on a commercial farm, your camps are fenced off. You can farm on an island. But even in a commercial farm, you still need your neighbors to warn you if there are problems. In the communal area, because of the vast open spaces, our animals graze in the same place, our animals drink in the same place, our animals utilize probably the same facilities. It is very important that the community comes together and is able to create an association or create a society, and they're able to work together and be able to educate and help keep the area disease free. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I just love to say bye for now.